Hi everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Get Ready for Leaguestart. This time I will go through Betrayal. I will go through the following topics: how to target your unveils, your planning your betrayal, building relations, preferred unveils, making currency with betrayal, good positions for the syndicate members, and then I'll show a big chart in the end. So to begin with, we're going through targeting the unveils. Like if you're playing Soul Found, it can be quite hard to get the unveils that you want quickly at the league start, and I usually use Aisling for this. So if I need some weapon unveils, I usually put her in transport, and if I need fortification unveils, armory. Then I put her in fortification. This way she both drops either weapons or armors and jewelry together. And afterwards you can do a neat trick where you put her in research and she puts in a new unveil on the item, but this time she actually reuses the options from before. So let's say that I really want to get trigger socketed gems when using a skill on weapons, and I finally get it on a base, on a weapon base, then I can save that base, remove the craft with my crafting bench, and then put her in research, and she will put on a new unveiled mod, and when I veil it will have the same options as before, and that way I can more quickly unlock the veiled mods that I want. Also, taking item level into account is also important, because the higher item level you have, the more experience you will get on the unveiling. Otherwise, if you're in Trade League, you can buy the Veil stuff at the pathofexile.com/trade. You can just search for different parameters, like veiled, that's the prefix of the veil, that's the suffix, like trigger gems when using a skill is of the veil, because that's a suffix, but if you need movement speed boots, something like that, then it's veiled, because that's a prefix. Furthermore, you can search for the specific masters, like Elrion's if you want the reduced mana cost craft, or Leo's if you want the damage craft. You should also use your prophecies. Kalanda's craft is very good, and if you triggered prophecy right before talking to a specific master where you would like more of their items to drop, then they will have a very high chance of dropping 4 or more of the items that have their specific mod. Like if you go in and fight the mastermind, then using this prophecy before you talk to her after the fight will make her drop 4 or 5 items with Katarina mod, which is in her case very important, because you don't want to fight mastermind that many times unless you really need some of the +2 support gems as she grants, or some of the uniques that she can grant. So before I go into the league start, I usually plan out what I need. Like, do I need an elder bow because I'm running some kind of bleed build, or an elder axe, or do I need a shaper shield, or shaper gloves, or shaper helmet? Then I know that I need to use Vorici for shaper scarabs, and I know that I need to use Corel for elder scarabs when you put them in intervention. I also think about, do I need any specific unveils? Like if I need some specific master unveiling, then I try to build relations with this master in my syndicate board until I don't need them anymore, and then I can kick them out if they have bad rewards otherwise. And if I need regular unveils, then I put Aisling accordingly in transport for weapons and fortification for armors. I also think for myself, if I need any of the mastermind units or +2 support, then I will try to run Katarina as early as possible, because when you run the mastermind, you will reset all relations in your syndicate, And that's very bad because the more relations you have, the more often the master will show, and the more masters you will have each encounter. So run her as quickly as possible, as early as possible if you need it. But in Trade League, you can always buy her mods or her uniques. Like you can buy Katarina Wild mods and unlock the +2 support that way around. Also, is Nemesis Asana mod? If yes, then Elrion is actually very good now because people are spam running these Delirium maps, getting a bunch of headhunters to drop, making the Reliquary Scarab very useful and have a high worth. If there's no Sana mod, then Headhunter cannot drop in regular maps, and you don't need the Scarab. So, how do you build relations? To begin with, you build trust. You get these syndicate members to trust each other, and then you get them to betray each other. That's the way you want them to react. And the best relation they can have is hating each other. They will usually spawn more often if they hate each other. And if they trust each other, they can change places if they're in the same tier. Like if they're the same rank 2 and rank 2, then they can swap places if they trust each other. I've built a small relationship here between 4 syndicate members. Like Tora and Chimera, they give good rewards. I will go over that later. And Rin and Riker just give decent or bad rewards. So we want them to have relations to each other, either hate or to begin with trust each other. You can go in and more in a more advanced way, you can go in and build specific relations. Like you want as many relations on Chimera and Tora as possible because you want them to show up as many times as possible, but you don't want as many relations on Rin and Riker because they are bad. So if these have relations together, that's a non-profitable relation. And like if Rin shows up, there's a chance or probability of Riker showing up instead of Chimera, and that way you actually lose profit because you would rather have Chimera show up instead of Riker. So this is a bad relation, and these are good, okay? Because they're connected to a profitable master. If you don't have any good options, like you can either execute them or fully reset the syndicate board, removing all rivalry. That's very bad. Then you can always push the release button. Like you have the syndicate board here, then the release button will be around here, around your skills in the bottom right corner. Okay, you can always press that and just release them, and nothing will change. So this are the preferred unveils that I have. I really like to unlock Leo for damage on jewelry, and I like to get the quality craft on weapons or shield from Haku, because then you can more quickly level Empower and Enlighten gems, and the minus mana cost craft from jewelry from Elrond. These are some of the regular unveils that I also like. So trigger targeted gems is very good. That's a no-brainer. It's very meta right now. Minimum frenzy and endurance charges on rings and amulets are also very good to unlock. I like the movement speed crafts. You can get from 18 to 20% movement speed and onslaught or extra movement speed and stuff like that. I like unveiling that as well. The stun and elemental ailment avoidance on armor prefix, that's good for me as well. And percentage life is also a good unveil. And then damage utility mods, like you have these cold damage and chance to freeze, or as I write here, chaos damage and skill effect duration. You can always go to the crafting bench and look up at the bottom. Then you have all these unveiled mods, and you can see which master and where to get them. These strengthen quality crafts and intelligence and dexterity, and quality are also very good. And quality on weapons, because when you get a higher quality on a weapon or an armor, it has higher probability of linking as well, and higher damage if it's a weapon. You can go into these two. I will put them in the comment section. It's a full list of all the wild modifiers from all the masters, so you can see if there's something you like. And this is a full list of all wild modifiers. It's a bit much to look at, so I can understand if you don't look at this. So how do you make currency in a trade league with Betrayal? Obviously, selling items. You can sell the items unveiled, and you can always search for Elrion's Veil and see what people list them for. At the beginning of the league, they're usually very expensive. And the higher item level you have on the item, the more it costs, because then it takes less items to unlock the mod. Also, Katarina's, because people don't run Mastermind, so they prefer just buying them unveiled, and they are expensive at the start of the league, but less expensive at the end. Certain unveiled items like prefix weapons, prefix boots, suffix weapons. Sometimes you can sell a lot of those in bulk. And Haku weapons, like you have Haku, and he drops a Haku item for you, and then it's 7 to 8% quality gems. This craft itself costs 1 exalt, and you can easily sell weapons, especially if it's easy to get red or blue sockets on it. Then you can easily sell them for like 50k or whatever, the half price of an exalt is, so people don't have to craft it themselves on their spare weapons where they level their empowers and enlightens. You can sell services like Viridian Research grants white sockets 1 to 3 if he's rank 3, and Leo grants a free Exalt Slam in rank 3, and Tora grants gem experience. The easiest way to sell these are actually in Discord channels. There are two that I'm a member of: Path of Exile Trading and Forbidden Trove. These have a system where you get thumbs up if you actually do the crafts, and you get kicked if you scam people. Otherwise, you can go into Trade 820 and try to sell them. But there's a bunch of people spamming these trade sections, and it's very hard to sell something. Then it's much easier just to put in the Discord channel, I have this and this service, and then keep on mapping until someone whispers you that they need them. Sellable items as well. Scarabs. There are a lot of profitable scarabs, and there are a lot of bad scarabs as well. You need to check the Poe Ninja for the prices, and they change every single league according to what's the best way of making money that league. And pure breachstones will always be very expensive, especially the Chegula one, because people use that to reach level 100. So these are some good positions, in my opinion, for the Syndicate. I've listed it in transportation, fortification, research, and intervention. Like, I like getting Hillock first on an armor, so I can easily 6-link it if I can't craft it with perfect fossils, and perfect fossils can be quite expensive sometimes as well. Getting a 28% armor is very good. You can also get a 28% weapon if you're actually dealing damage with your weapon, or you need to 6-link it as well. Very late game, you can get some flask quality, so you can get flask to 28% quality and thereby increase the duration of the flask. It fled in research, rank 3. It's very important that he's rank 3. Do not upgrade any breachstones with a non-rank 3 it fled, because the breachstones are actually worth less usually if they are upgraded um, in from a regular breachstone into a tier 2 or tier 3 upgraded breachstone. The You need to get the pure breachstones. Also in SSF, I would recommend. because you don't have that many breachstones in SSF, so you need to get the most out of them, and running a pure guarantees a blessing and guarantees a unique from that boss. Leo is okayish because he grants this Exalt Slam. Sometimes you can sell it as a service, but sometimes you also just get another shit mod on your item. That's just pure RNG. It's fine to like get a free Exalt Slam on a good 3 mod jewel and hope to get a 4 mod jewel. Isling in research only if you need to unlock more unveils on something you already saved. Intervention is the useful scarabs like Bestiary, Legion, Metamorph, Divination, Sulfite, and Reliquary. We have Chimera early game here if you want to progress the Atlas fast. And if you want to gamble for a Headhunter and Time 1 Unix from Chimera and Transportation is decent as well. So I listed Isling as well here, but she's not that good late in League, only early if you want the unveils quickly. I've listed these are optional for influence scraps, like if you want saber items, then Wurichi and intervention, and if you want elder scarabs, then Corel and intervention as well. This is just a big chart that I took from Reddit, and he listed what's good, great, good, average, and worst. And some of it is correct in my opinion, and some of it ain't correct in my opinion. But just use this as a reference. Like, look at some of the items. Do you want this on your board or not? Um, this is the source if you want to go into Reddit and find it. Okay, that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you Thursday next week. Because we have the league starts on Friday, I would rather release the next video on Thursday next week. Okay. Remember to subscribe if you like the content or leave a comment if you have any questions. Have a nice weekend and see you on Thursday. Goodbye.